Hey guys, Sunday, February 2nd, 2025. Let's see what the markets are doing. So far, got a nice decent pullback and now retracing higher and kind of hanging out at the highs. The S&P is the same thing. Dow Jones had a deeper retracement. And NASDAQ catching up again. Russell having a tough time. Nikkei pretty much a big consolidation here. Hasn't really like broken out, so it's just kind of basing off here. Same thing with the euro. However, they did have a breakout. They're making new highs. We are not. We're struggling a little bit here. So euro, stock 50. Now let's see what the DAX breaking out. So these guys are breaking out. VIX pulling in, missing 20. Now back into the basing pattern. A breakout, 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 basing, and pretty much stuck. Go to the energy sector. This one's interesting. Let's go to the monthly so we can get a bigger picture. So we have been basing out for at least 2 years. Trending, pullback, basing out. Got a pop, failed at 80. Same thing with Brent, just basing out. Heating oil, trending, retraced, pop, pullback, and now like a little mini basing. Natural gas, same thing. Trended, retraced, grinding, retraced, based out for a little bit here, at a breakout, and now pulling back. Same thing with RBOB. Nice big basing pattern. There's a lot of basing patterns right here in the energy sector. Now that Trump's in, let's see what he is going to do. That's looking at the monthly. Now when you look at the weekly, let's see. Yeah, a trend line here. See that it broke his 80 and pulled back. You definitely can see a basing pattern right here. Little mini one here, and then it breaks out. So this looks like the same thing that was here. And maybe it wants to, it started to break out, but then failed. Same thing here. I like to do these charts in the morning. This is the first thing I do Sunday morning. I just want to look at price action. I don't want no indicators. I don't want cycles. I don't know. It's like therapeutic. I just kind of see what the chart is for what it is. And I use the weekly and the monthly. The day is a lot of noise daily, so I get to see the trend much better. And I can kind of analyze things. RBOB, you can see we were basing here. Looks like it was a little breakout, but end of the day, it's still all in a basing pattern. So this is where you don't want to be in, unless you're like day trading, scalping in and out, then you're fine. This is good for you, getting in, getting out, going short, because you already have a defined range. So this is perfect for day traders, especially futures. In and out, boom, 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 boom. But when you get into a market like this, it's trending. You could be going in and out, but you got to make sure you're going in and out, to the upside. Pullbacks, you buy. Pullbacks, you buy. The strategy has to change because the market is going in one direction. Here is sideways. So here, you already know where the high is. This is where you want to get out, where you see where there's like a base. That's where you want to, get in and out. So you get the idea. I personally like it when it's trending. It's kind of my style. But I could still, play ball here too. In the basing pattern. It just takes a lot of more work and a lot of more concentration. Because there's just a lot of chop fest, as I say it, back and forth. Heating oil, same thing. Basing right here. And you got this nice little breakout, now a pullback. So now you put that basing pattern, is it going to start trending higher here? That's the question. Or is it going to go back into the basing pattern? Natural gas, the Black Widow. Whoa, I tell you, man, the Black Widow is no joke. You've been following me, you know that the 45 degree, one by one, bought natural gas really good. Pulled back. January the 13th, the 27th. Statistically a downlight. A lot of things just worked out. This is a great trade. Great trade. Now you're at support. We're in this little area right here to see if it's going to hold. There's a lot of support here. I want to see if that's going to hold. You can see that there is some kind of trend. It's making higher highs and higher lows. Let's see if it continues pushing higher. You got a big gap right here now. Huge gap. There's a couple of gaps. There's some gaps down here. There's somewhere around here. There's a few gaps. 1, 2, 3. Obviously, this is definitely going to probably be a 4, but you're getting into borderline where your wave 4 is it's could violate it. So this one is very risky. That gas is at the point where if this is not your wave 4 going into a wave 5, the deeper you go in, high probability that is going to continue going sideways to lower. So you want to make sure at least you hold $3, $2.99 in that area. Actually, I can't remember if this is your wave 2. I think maybe it starts from here. I think this was an ABC. So this is your wave 2. 1. I'm sorry. This is 1, 2, 3. And we're entering here. And however you look at it, people will count. Have different counts. Either way, you don't want to start pushing too low because it's already statistically looking like a wave 4 may not be working out. So keep that in mind. Ethanol just kind of sideways here. Every time I just think of ethanol is when I get gas and I see the ethanol sign. Bonds, let's see what bonds are doing. Kind of rallied, but still in a downtrend. Maybe it could be basing. Keep an eye on the 30. I don't trade bonds, but I like to watch it, especially here in this chart. Softs. Coffee is looking good. It's trending. This is a trending market. Trending. You just buy dips. Look at that monthly chart. So for you coffee lovers talking about coffee, I got to get one myself right here. Trending. This is buy the dip strategy. You have a strategy where you know it's trending and every pullback you buy, whatever indicators or technique, I have one. This is a trending market. And assume that it's going to continue going higher. Unless you know cycles and stuff like that. So definitely keep an eye on coffee. It'd be more expensive for us coffee drinkers, but it's trending. Cocoa is trending. Pullback. Gann's theory is first impulse wave. When it pulls back, that's when you dip your toes in. This is the same setup. First impulse wave, pull back, dip your toes in. This one is interesting because this one had a long consolidation here. Basing pattern. But if you can recognize that, this is what you get in reward. It's hard sometimes. If you study it a lot, and you just look in the past, your basing pattern right there, consolidation. And get your breakout. This is what you get in reward. This one was more a pullback and then continuation. You can see that there was a basing pattern here. And then you got a breakout, but it was a false breakout. So this one didn't work. Coffee it did. Cocoa it did. Cotton. That means you could get your t-shirts cheaper because prices are still going down and could probably hit 60 or even around 50-ish. Orange juice trending also. Lumber is stuck. And sugar is still popped, pull back. Kind of like basing a little bit. Looks like a failed new low for those that trade sugar. The kids love sugar, so. You know, it's funny. I went to the to a building, a government building, and all I saw was candy everywhere. I was telling the gentleman that was walking with me, I was like, hey, man, this is Candy Fest over here. You guys have a whole bunch of diabetes. He's like, oh yeah, this is Diabetes Fest. I mean, he didn't say that, but I'm assuming that's what he's like, oh yeah, welcome to the diabetes clinic. A whole bunch of candy. Everybody in their desk had candy. It's just funny. Crazy. But yeah, look at cocoa, sugar. Now let's get this out of here. Maybe a fail new low after this nice pullback. Something to keep an eye on. Look at that. It's kind of basing right here. A little bit, a mini base. Looks like it wants to break out higher. It's having a tough time here. This is probably where you want to, if you're in cocoa, you want to keep an eye on it. Let's go to metals. A lot of people are trading metals. Look at gold. Breakout. This one is kind of mixed. This could be a retracement / basing pattern. I don't know why this does that. Let's see. Keep it here. Basing pattern, breakout. Silver's trying to catch up. Still holding 30, so that's good. I own both of these, so I'm happy as it goes higher. Copper, let's go to the monthly because this is where you kind of get it better. Oops, I don't know what I did. Copper has like a long basing pattern right here. Hasn't really broken out. You can see it in the monthly. The gold has a nice, I mean, even gold had it too right here. A couple of years. And then you get this breakout. Copper's at that stage right now where we haven't had a move like this yet. Silver is borderline wants to break out right here. You're still in that basing pattern. It's just slightly right above it. My favorite metals of all of these right here is this guy right here. Palladium had a nice sell-off 2024, and then it's been basing the whole year. And I'm waiting for a move like this. So I have it in my radar. Probably my next video is going to be on Palladium because I'm noticing some things, and you can see that this was a false breakout right there, but it's still in the basing pattern. So if you could recognize when this happens right there, this is where you make the money right there. Platinum too, you know, it's in this basing pattern also, hasn't broken out yet. Now go back to the weekly, and then this is where you kind of see what's happening. So there's a lot of interest in Palladium now. As you can see, there is some kind of base right here. I remember seeing this move last year, but then it's this high and then pull back, and then it was back into the basing mode. But now we're getting it again for this year. So we got to monitor this. So I've been looking at the cycles and everything and just trying to determine, is this the real deal? Is this starting? Is this where the hedge funds and everybody else with big money going to start piling in? I don't know, but I'm going to show you some things I'm noticing. Platinum, it's not my favorite, you know, because it's not the underdog like Palladium. This is kind of reminds me of like uranium, when uranium spot was down to like $18, and all the whole sector was dead. So this is kind of the same thing. That's why I got all my money out of the uranium sector, and I have it, you know, I'm sitting on cash waiting to see what's going to happen with this guy right here. Because this is the trade to get in. Everybody's good here, and they left this guy for dead. This is the one I'm excited the most, but it hasn't given me anything to go by. Meats. Trending. Our meats are going to get more expensive. It's making higher highs, pushing higher. Hogs, just consolidating, basing. Look at the weekly. You kind of see basing pattern, then breakout. Same thing, basing pattern. Right here, breakout. Pull, pop, pull back in a basing pattern. Maybe could be starting a pull, a pop. Grains, Corn, look at corn. Corn has some good swings. This didn't even base. There's a little mini base here. It just moves. Look at that retrace. It's like, no, there's no time to like consolidate. It just moves. Yeah, another pop, A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3. Pull back, pop. A little mini one for like maybe 3 months or 4. This is a monthly chart, and then boom. And then just one monthly low, and then that's it. Off to the races again. See, the corn is a different animal. And I'm sure if you trade corn, you could probably tell. Look at that. This is the weekly. The 1 week, it boom. 1 week's wicks a high. There's 3, goes sideways, and then boom. Next week, we're off to the races. Soybean. Yeah, if you just go to the monthly, just kind of see it's spacing here. You see how different it is from corn to soybean. Look at all the other ones. Oats is just basing, accumulation distribution phase. Accumulation distribution phase, pullback, basing, pullback. Wheat, sideways, basing, canola, basing. Currencies. This is one I'm watching. Because this one's mixed. This one, some analysts are saying, or some analysts are saying that the dollar's going to pull in. And some say that the dollar could retest the highs. I'm in the camp that maybe it could retest the high, but I'm not, I'm not married to that position that it's going to go and test the highs. It could turn also. But a lot of the cycles that I'm watching are still pointing up. And with the Elliott wave, we're on a wave 4 on the daily, but it could potentially go up. As you can see, let's see if I get this back. Basing. First signs of breakout. So now, is it going to continue? February, March, April, test this high. Markets like to retest things before they go down, in my opinion. So we'll see. But keep an eye on the dollar. Undecided candle, monthly candle for January. Same thing with the euro. Because I don't trade the dollar, but I watch the dollar to trade the euro and, these guys, the pound. Let's see what's down here. Aussie trending lower. New Zealand dollar, maybe a failed new low. Interesting. CAD, pound. Looks like it's stronger than the euro. But yeah. The ones I'm watching this week would be the dollar. That means I'll be trading the euro, the pound, and the Aussie. Grains, nothing for me there. Meats, metals, gold, obviously, and palladium. Watching like a hawk. That thing about Palladium is that there's not that much great stocks. There's a few ETFs. This company in Africa, South Africa. I mean, it's not my favorite part of the world just because it's a lot of, it's not very stable. Things could get a little crazy over there. But there is, and I'll be doing that, be talking about it in the video when I post it. Hopefully I could do it today, but if not, it'll probably be in a couple of weeks. Where there's a few selection for plays for Palladium. Soft. Nothing for me here. Bonds, nothing for me here. Energy. For natural gas, just keep an eye on that $3. See if that's going to hold. Or maybe a retrace. Fill this gap. But if the weather's not, no demand, it's over Tennessee, it's already warm over here. There's no demand, this thing could pull back. Remember February and March, a lot of pivot lows I've done in the past on natural gas. So if this doesn't hold, doesn't fill this and go back, and find support again, you could potentially push lower. Heating oil, you can see that it's pulling in. Crude oil, probably could go back into basing. 80 was holding there. So if it doesn't break above 80, then, I'm not really interested because you're going to be back in Chop Fest. And the indices, let's see if we could trade higher. Look at the DAX. Pushing higher, all-time highs. We're stuck in a rut. Nikkei sideways. Russell doesn't want to participate with this rally. So let's see what this week holds. As Trump put some tariffs for Canada, Mexico, and I can't think of any other country. Maybe it's just those two I saw in the headlines. So it's going to be an interesting, volatile week coming up. That's it for me for Market Recap. I already got my game plan, the dollar. Do some digging with Palladium. I already did my uranium sector. So you got a lot of good ideas for trading for this week, and watch some key levels. I'm going to sign out. Hope you like this video, and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on Market Recap.